Inside the Circle, Season 3, Episode 7.1. Sean, we are getting down, what are we, 6 weeks away, I think?
I was going to ask you that. Well, how far are we at, 6 or 7 weeks?
24, 31, 8, 15, 22 sectionals. So the 6 weeks, yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Boom. Be ready. So if you're a high school student and you're watching this and you're thinking, I got time. No, you don't.
You don't
no,
have
you don't.
time. You do not have time.
Sean, I got to be honest, man. We had a lot of stuff going on this week.
Yeah, big week, big week.
Huge week, and a whole lot more than I thought. We got, in this episode, 7.1. We're going to have 7.2, 3, 4, and 5. We're doing individual rankings. Be sure to stick around for that. And, well, let's get into it. We had Licking Heights. We had a tournament up in Marion. Huge tournament up there. We had Mommy Bay. What else do we have?
We had Gahanna Duels. We had Top Gun. We had CIT. It was a great mix. We had tournaments in the city, tournaments outside the city, up here, Akron area, up here in Toledo area. It was a great
all over the
mix,
place.
yeah.
Well, before those tournaments went down, we know of one thing that went down. Thursday Night Thunder. Yes, the OCC was rocking. It was 2x4s.
Last week of 2x4s.
Yes, we didn't even plan that. That was pretty cool.
That was kind of a little cool. A little weird though.
You were at one of the 2x4s.
Yeah, there was 2 great locations. Probably the premier location this last week was Delaware Hayes, where they brought in they brought in Mount Vernon and Olentangy,
Yes.
Lewis Center. They wrestled Olentangy first. They beat them
35?
35-26. I think they won 8 of 6 matches. I really thought they out-wrestled them pretty much the whole night. So it was an impressive win for Delaware. Then they wrestled Mount Vernon. Come up a little short there, lose 39-31. Some marquee matches of the night was Martinez wrestling Blake Young at 195. I actually think Blake Young may have had the lead or was at least tied going in the 3rd period before Martinez kind of opened up there. So that was a competitive match.
7-4 final there?
7-4, 7-5,
yeah.
somewhere around there. And then when Delaware wrestled Mount Vernon, 45, would you have Mateo Lieberger against Max Wright, was another great match, 8-3 there. So, you know, I honestly think that part of the OCC is going to get split because Delaware beats Olentangy, and I think when Olentangy wrestles Mount Vernon, they're going to beat them. I think that's just the way the matchup is there. So, but it's entertaining, good wrestling, and great night of wrestling.
Yeah,
Actually,
certainly.
It's like a 4-hour 2x4 wrestling. He was like, man, this thing is still going on. Probably the longest 2x4 in the history of high school wrestling. But anyways, another great location was Newark.
Yeah.
Side of this year's sectional tournament.
Yes.
Where Lancaster took on Pickerington North. Lancaster came out on top 46-32 in a pretty competitive match there. I think Lancaster just has the numbers. I think Pickerington North still forfeits a couple weights there. But Marysville also had a good 2x4 going on as well. I know we said 2, but I just remember there was 3. Central Crossing loses again. They started
Wait, are they 0-3 now?
They started 0-3 in the OCC. They lost 39-30, but Ray didn't wrestle. He wrestled the night before. You know, I talked about I thought maybe Central Crossing could win that match. But Ray didn't wrestle. He didn't wrestle till the next night up at Mommy, but they lose 39-30. But Central Crossing does come out tonight with a win. They edged Hilliard Davison 34-31, so they are on the scoreboard.
Tight.
They're 1-3 now. Let's see if that has anything to do with the rankings as we get to that a little bit later. But again, Thursday Night Thunder is pretty much done. We're done with the 2x4s. Now we're going to individual duels, which doesn't have.
I'd say unless there's a dual meet that is going to decide the OCC. And a lot of times it's not necessarily the case.
Right.
You're going to end up with some pretty lopsided duels.
Let's just play. You're going to end up with duels that last maybe 35 minutes. So.
As opposed to the Thursday Night Thunder.
That lasted 5 hours. But,
you gave me a text after Grant sent me some texts. I mean, that's late. Or is that early? I mean, I don't know.
Well, let's get past all these dual meet matches. Let's head to Licking Heights, one of the local tournaments here. It was won by Westford North.
Speaking of Coach Grant.
Yeah, they won pretty handily there. Won by like 100 points. They had 8 finalists. They had 4 champs. Grant wins it at 26. Goldsmith wins it at 52. Hines wins it at 82. And then Archer brings up the caboose at heavyweight. Whitehall was there. They had a couple.
They ended up getting 3rd place.
3rd place.
Behind
Liberty Union.
Yes!
Liberty Union, a team we've been talking about all year, are really good. We talk about them every week, man. They just continue to have impressive finishes.
And they continually seem to edge Whitehall.
Yeah.
Go to another tournament, guys.
Remember last year when it was like 3 or 4 tournaments decided by half a point or something like that? That was crazy.
Great
anyway,
stuff.
back to Liberty Union. They had
a champ at 132.
Owens wins it.
But you didn't mention Whitehall's because I cut you off because that's what I do. You didn't mention Whitehall's back-to-back champs at 106 and 113.
Yep.
And Caputo, from Whitehall. Yeah, oh, yeah.
Gesundheit.
Caputo wins and Stewart wins, and Stewart has a good tournament, man. Stewart really does well at 113.
District placer Austin Smith from Zanesville, which we'll talk about a little bit later as well. But the home team did have a champ, and if you're ever a fan of the show, or if you just watch the show, which two different kinds of people, you know we always love it when the home tournament has a champ, and they got a champ at 160 with Josiah Harrell.
Yeah.
I know
he was in the finals at Olentangy Orange as well.
Right. Solid kid. I think he's going to do great things at 160 again. Watch the rankings. I talk about that kid there as well. But from there, we're going to go a little bit north and go to the Marion tournament. I think every Marion school has a tournament up there.
They do.
Do they?
Yes.
Yeah, well, it seems like because every time we talk about tournaments, there's always a Marion tournament there.
And they're all like 50 teams.
There are a lot of teams, though. But anyways, a lot of schools went up there from Columbus area. We went 5, 6, and 7. Watkins, the team we talked about last week at Olentangy Orange, how I was very impressed with their unity and their brotherly love there, gets 5th. River Valley gets 6th. And Northmore gets 7th. Transu, Dublin. Jerome was also up there, was a champion. Really didn't get pushed that hard. I don't really see him getting pushed that much this season with the way their schedule is. I think they got all north and then their duels, but he's going to pretty much breeze through the rest of his season. The Lee brothers was up there. They both got 2nd, 13 and 32. Price, the guy we talked about, I know you like from
Granville. I do, Granville. Yes, I do like him.
He got up there.
152. I think he was a finalist. He got 2nd place
who
there.
Who some of the other finalists?
Well, another finalist at 170 was Wildman from Jonathan Alder. Jonathan also had another finalist at heavyweight. It's their returning state champion in Caldwell. He got 1st. He actually he won the tournament. I think it was by a 3-1 score, so it was kind of close there too.
Right.
I mean, not necessarily a breeze, but so there's a little bit about the Marion tournament. We also had Maumee Bay. We had a number of Central District teams represented up there. We had Mount Vernon, Reynoldsburg, Grove City. There might have been one or two other ones at, I don't know, like Central Crossing maybe?
Oh, Central Crossing was
Yes!
there?
And how did they do, Sean?
Central Crossing, probably one of the top 2 or 3 tournament teams in the district. They go up there, they get 2nd, behind 3 finalists, 2 champs with Maddox and Archer. I'm sorry, Maddox and Teacher. Weimer gets 2nd, 9-7 sudden victory loss to Moses Guillen, state placer from Perrysburg in a close match.
Right.
A couple spots behind them was Mount Vernon, who also had 3 placers. Mateo gets 2nd, Hinkle gets 2nd, Staten get 5th. And we'd like to give a shout out to Eubanks from Reynoldsburg, who got 5th at 285, and also Crosby from Grove City, who also got 5th at 170. So
right on.
Great tournament, good showing, great job, guys.
Sean, in the opening you mentioned the Gahanna duels.
Yeah, Gahanna duels for this weekend. It was one of 2 local tournaments here with the Licking Heights tournament. Oddly enough, they touch each other.
What do?
Licking Heights and Gahanna, they're like next to each other on the map.
Yes.
And I know you're all big about, well, you'd pull out of Gahanna, you would go right, and then you would take 42. Mark's in that good stuff. But to make a long story short, Licking Heights, Licking Valley, these L's and these H's and these L's and the V's get me confused. But Licking Valley, Mark's top-rated D2 school, wins it. They go 5-0. Upper Arlington gets 2nd. 4-1, and then Hilliard Bradley gets 3rd at 3-2. So
International Man of Travels. There's your Gahanna duels, if I may, as a coach. Greatest spread for a coach's hospitality room I've ever seen was at Gahanna, and I'm telling you, they knocked it out of the park.
That was crazy.
I guarantee they did it again this year.
A real short story. About 5 years ago, it was a snow day. Half the team's canceled. Me and Mark go there to cover it. There's only 4 teams there and about 100 teams worth of food. And they're like, come on in, get what you want. My God, I think we ate so much, we didn't wake up till Tuesday. But true funny story.
We rolled you home that day, I do believe.
You might have.
Hey, tell me about, you traveled, leaving Gahanna duels, you traveled up to Alliance to watch that, to get a good feel for the Central District up at a big tournament like Alliance, which Top Gun is a big tournament, and it's been going on for a really long time. Sean, what was your takeaway from the Alliance tournament there?
Yeah, we had a couple teams go up there. We'll talk to them as we go in order. The top finishing team was Olentangy. Finishes 9th. They beat Delaware, who finishes 11th, a day after losing to them in the duel. Olentangy had 5 placers led by champ Nate Hall at 182. Yes. 2 spots behind them is Delaware Hayes, led by 2 finalists, 1 champ. Brusco wins it in a very impressive fashion. Martinez gets 2nd at 195. And then we're going to go 2 spots behind them. And we have Marysville, who's led by 2 finalists also. Little Marsh gets 2nd at 126. He beats state runner-up Cole Woods in the semifinals, and then Romani wins it at 152. And then we go another 2 spots back, which is just funny to me. I don't know why we're all on Tuesday. It's Pickerington North, who had 3 placers, led by Chandler Menard, who made his starting to get his feet underneath him, making his season debut there with a second place finish behind Corey Shy, who's a pretty solid kid from LaSalle. Shakur Laney got third, and the No Steins go like 6 and 7.
Yeah, I think
so,
they did. Yep.
Good finish by them.
Excellent.
From there, we're going to head up to the CIT, where we had 3 finalists from the Central District, 2 champs. Caleb Brooks wins it at 106. Certainly. Chris Hill wins it at 113. And then Tim Rooney gets second at 152 for the Central District there. So,
most certainly. Good showings by all, I thought. And, you know, with all these tournaments, with all these major tournaments, man, you really start to look at it. And, I mean, those are great results, a lot of champs. And so now it's our job to figure out who the rest of the week is.
Yeah.
So, thanks. We'll just cast lots, throw darts kind of deal.
We went back and forth here.
Really did.
Again, we got it down to 2 kids. And what did we decide there?
Well, we decided... Yeah, as a first, true, amazing stuff. Number 1.
Did the sponsors approve it?
Sponsors approved. Christopher Hill and Cameron Teacher. Guys, they really did a great job. Wear these shirts with pride. You are Wrestlers of the Week for Inside the Circle. Christopher Hill does, I mean, he really did a great job of a CIT.
Yeah, Christopher Hill, he beats 4th in the state Lucas, Hunter Lucas from Lima Central Catholic, 3-1. Then he wrestles... returning state runner-up Tony DeCesar from Padua for D2 and beats him 9-6. So that's, kid's really looking great, really looking great.
Certainly, and then Teacher does what he does, and I'm just thinking,
he's mauling everybody.
Man, this is amazing stuff. So guys, we wanted to make sure that both you guys got a chance to, and this is the first time we've done 2 shirts. So hey guys, this is yours, you right there, all yours. Rest of the week. Upcoming events?
Wadsworth Liberty's going to hide up the Wadsworth like we talked about. 2x4s are done, so we're just going to duels, so it's not going to be as much results or as big as stuff. So we'll be back on February the 1st with our next episode. But before we leave, we're going to give you this week's top 10 in the district tournament.
Yeah, we can. Oh, you saying the top 10 in the district tournament or top 10 in the area? Because I think...
Top 10 rankings.
Top 10 rankings. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Sean, where do you want to start?
Sean, where do you want to start? We know that we don't start at the top, we start at the bottom. Can't start in the middle because it messes everything up.
We're going to start at number 10 here. We're going to go with the same 10 we had last week. It's going to be Delaware Hayes. Coming off that good win at Old Tangy. Then they have 2 finalists, the Top Gun.
Yeah.
I still don't know, other than Brusco or Martinez, if anybody I would say is like better than 50-50 to place high at Darby. I mean, they got like Garrett Young. They got a lot of good guys in there. Max Stripe, but he's at a tough weight. So they're led by 2 superstars and a lot of guys trying to fill out the bracket there for him. And number 9, Pickerington North. I'm going Pickerington North here. Again, I think this is the team when coaches give us feedback and rankings, they always tell me like, this is my rankings, but I really think Pickerington North is the dark horse to win the district tournament. And put this down with about every other team in the district tournament that I just don't see. I mean, I think these guys are like just a 5-horse team, and every time I think that maybe some of their other guys could pitch in, like Will Mason, he went 0-2 up at Top Gun. They still, forfeiting a lot of weights there. I just don't see them being the team that people initially thought was going to be the team at the beginning of the season. So I got him at number 9.
My grade 8.
Grade 8?
No.
I love that cartoon back in the day. At number 8, we're putting Doug Kaufman on the strength of their great dual meet tournament plus Dominic Demas. Again, a team we're putting up here on the strength of their dual meet. They've had phenomenal. I don't think they've lost a dual meet yet. Blown out a lot of good teams, and they're in our number 8. At number 7, Old Tangy. Again, and this is crazy. Everybody from Old Tangy from 106 to 160 was out on day 1 of Top Gun, and then everybody from 170 to 285 was a high placer. This has just been who they've been. And I'm kind of surprised because I've seen this team, I live up that way, I'm kind of familiar with all the Old Tangy schools, is that I see these kids practice and I see them wrestling these matches. I just think like 106, the 126, the 132, and the 145 are just better than the results. It's like amazing to me that they just aren't putting more wins together. I think I counted it up, and from 106 to 160, they won 5 total matches at the tournament.
But you think they're better than that?
And I think they're a lot better.
Yeah,
that's crazy. But again, maybe I have this bad ranking.
No, here's what's going to happen. One of them's going to get a win. It's going to fuel everybody. That's what's going to happen.
That's what's going to happen.
6.
Number 6, we're going L-Town, the Gales. We're moving them down a spot from last week. They did have that win over Pickerington North in the 2x4, but they really I don't know. I didn't like the Porter win. I just think it was a bad tournament. I'm trying to think who their signature win is this year. Other than that Delaware duel they had, Delaware Super Duels where Old Danger Liberty had a depleted thing. I don't know. And I think they have a very favorable draw at the state duels as well.
Yeah.
So this team can make a run, but we're putting them at number 6 right now.
Number 5.
Number 5, we're going Marysville. And I probably should have flopped these in my head. I kind of moved Marysville down a spot here. Again, this is a team that just can't, I don't think they entered maybe 9, 10 kids again at the Top Gun. Still no Cepeda, he's still out. Still out. Sharp didn't make his debut. He got a 6. I'm not going to get on him for 6. Anytime you make your debut this late in the season, you got to get back in your rhythm. You got to get your shape going. So, other than Marsh and Romani, God, I think they're just kind of thin right now.
Gotcha. How about my number 4?
At number 4, a team I'm moving up, and Mark told me I was crazy, just wasn't buying this, is the Yellow Jackets of Mount Vernon. I've seen them at the duel, the 2x4 up in Delaware. I was just really impressed with solid wrestling with these guys from 6 all the way up. The one bad thing about them that I don't like is they don't have anybody really after Staten. And we talked about after Staten is kind of the easier weights in the district when you start to get into 95, 220 and heavyweight where teams could really capitalize. So the one thing holding them back is that they don't have any really scores above Staten. But again, I think they're going to have like 10 qualifiers, 10 district qualifiers, and scoring a lot of points early on Saturday morning.
Wow.
So, number 3, even though they're coming off a 100-point win, and I know I'm going to hear about it, I'm moving West from North down. And it's not the 100-point win that I think we should focus on this. I think when we're looking really in the big picture, Kramer loses again to A.J. Jones, who was in the same weight and then plays. Gage Archer with some of the kids coming back that we'll discuss when we get to the heavyweight individual rankings, I think moves him back. Hines is really like a superstar on the team, but Goldsmith is at a tough weight at 52. I think Josh Grant may be able to do great things at 26 because that's kind of a thin weight. And he's kind of picking up steam, but man, they need to get their district champions going here for them really to have a chance to win this thing.
Well, as my man Ken once said, peak when it matters most. Number 2.
Okay, number 2 is Central Crossing, coming off that solid runner-up finish up at Mommy and that Mammoth tournament up there. Again, a team that I probably should rank higher, but the 3 straight losses in the OC I don't think warrants a number 1 ranking.
I got you.
Again, I think they're going to be a solid team. They do have Ray back now at 170, who he lost in the first round. He came all the way back, and I believe got 3rd.
3rd or 4th?
I think he did get 3rd, so I think, again, I think he just needed to make a weight and get ready to wrestle. And I'm never going to knock a kid his first time back this late in the season. So, the number 1 is still Liberty. Again, they just had blowout wins since the OCC started. This week they're traveling up to Wadsworth. So, and Jake Zendersky is back for him, a highly ranked state kid at the beginning of the season. So, again, this is the team they told me to have all along, and whatever finishes they have and results are who they are at this point. So, this is our top 10 right now. Again, stick with us after this episode to see the individual rankings and
now you are inside the circle.